inventory, 𝐻𝐶 receivables, 𝐻𝐶 cash, 𝐻𝐶 bank balance, and these assets are expected to last for a period less than 1 year. So we will start by recording assets, which we classify into two, non-current and current. And then from there, we record capital. And then finally, we record liabilities. Liabilities equally are classified into two, non-current liabilities and current liabilities. So we start by recording assets here. We start by recording what? Assets. And basically, we always start by recording the non-current assets. The non-current assets. The non-current assets. So in this case, we just need to have a single column here. And I hope you can also be able to record the figures which were given in the trial balance. Yes. So we just need to write that our figures will be in thousands of shillings. So what we need to do is we go back to the trial balance. We check the non-current asset. Non-current asset, I've said, is an asset which is acquired by the business to help the business in terms of generating revenue. These include assets such as land, buildings, motor vehicle, furniture and fittings, and so on and so on. And this is also something you need to recall from what we covered in the topic of the ledger account. In the topic of the ledger account, I was able to explain what are the assets and so on. So therefore, from the trial balance, I think we have a number of assets. Can we go down there from where we have landed buildings? Can you see landed buildings? Yes. So I hope you can see landed buildings. Land and buildings. Land and buildings. So the value for landed buildings there is what? Is 2,550,000. Now remember the format which I gave you. We say that when recording the asset here, that is the non-current asset, we record them here at the net book value. At the net book what? Value. So how do we compute the net book value of an asset at the end of the year, which is basically recorded here? The net book value of an asset at the end of the year is equal to the cost minus the accumulated depreciation at the start of the year. And the accumulated depreciation of the asset at the start of the year are the accumulated depreciations which we have in the trial balance. If you check on the trial balance which are given here, the last items down there, you can see we have accumulated depreciations. Those are accumulated depreciations at the start of the year, which are part of the trial balance. So other than deducting this accumulated depreciation at the start, we also list the depreciation for the current year. Depreciation for the current year. And basically, this is the depreciation which is in the statement of a profit or loss. So that depreciation which we accounted for as an expense in the statement of profit or loss is the depreciation for the current year. So therefore, it's very, very important to note this. How do we compute net book value of the asset at the end? Take the cost minus accumulated depreciation at the start, which is in the trial balance, minus the depreciation for the current year, which is in the income statement or the statement of profit or loss. Now, if you check the depreciations which are in the trial balance down there, you'll be able to see those are depreciation for plant and machinery, motor vehicle, furniture, and fittings. So meaning that we don't have any depreciation for landed buildings. So basically, there is something I mentioned in our previous class. There are those assets which do not lose value. Like if you have land do not lose value. In fact, land appreciates. The value of land keep on increasing. So that's why you can see there is no depreciation for this. But if there was depreciation, then we would have taken the cost, which is 2,550,000, minus the accumulated depreciation at the start, basically, which is 0, minus the depreciation for the current year, which is equal to what? 0. And then in that case, we get the net book value at the end of the year. In this case, the net book value of landed buildings remains the same. Remains the same. I want us to move to the other asset, which is below landed buildings, and that is plant and machinery. Plant and machinery. So we will use this approach. So we take the cost which is in the trial balance, 1,600,000. And then I want us to use this formula. We must be together here so that you understand this. So this is the cost. Whatever you have here is the cost. I want us to just the accumulated depreciation at the start, which is in the trial balance. So who can tell us how much is the accumulated depreciation for plant and machinery in the trial balance? How much is that figure? down there in the trial balance, the answer type it in the chat box. Ndio mwalimu ajue kama tuko pamoja. Once you get the answer, type it in the chat box. Sasa, yes, so that I know whether we are together. So that you know whether we are together. Are we moving together or we are lost? The mwalimu can only be able to know that this is where we are communicating in the chat box. That's where we communicate. Sasa, yes, once you get the answer, type it there. That's the only way I can be able to know whether we are together. Yes, so the accumulated depreciation at the stand is 447, 010. And then to this we less the depreciation for the current year. This is the depreciation which we computed as per note number 6, and also the depreciation which we recognized as an expense in the income statement. So who can give me that depreciation for this one? I think it was 400,000. Was it 400,000? The depreciation from the income statement for the current year? Yes or no? Is it 400,000? Is it 400,000? I'm only getting answers from Evans. The depreciation for the current year. Ukienda kwa income statement, you'll be able to see we have depreciation which is recognized as an expense. Is it 400,000? Yes. So that's basically how we compute the net book value. So before we do this, I want us to do the same for the other assets, because we also have other non-current assets, including motor vehicles. We will do the same. We take the cost, which is 843,000, minus the accumulated depreciation at the start of the year, which is in the trial balance. In the trial balance is a figure of 168,600. And then can you give me the depreciation for the current year? The depreciation for the current year from the income statement. The depreciation for the current year in the income statement. Give me that figure. Give me that figure in the chat box down there. You just need to go back to the income statement and you check how much is the depreciation for the current year. How much is the depreciation for the current year for motor vehicles? The one which we computed, it was 168,600. So do we have any other assets? I can't see any other. Asset. Any other non-current asset. So I think we have